How do you build trust in yourself when you feel like you've lost it, when you feel like you don't trust what you say, you feel like the words inside of your head are just lies, you say you're gonna do something, you don't follow up? Like, how do you set a vision for the future if you don't believe what it is that you say? So today we're gonna talk about self-trust and rebuilding it when it may have been broken after a long time. So I think a lot of people, when you type in like how to build self-trust or how to trust myself again or how to stop self-sabotage, when you type those things into Google or YouTube, I feel like I see a lot of content that is really helpful, but a lot of it also does kind of lean more on the bully yourself into doing the thing that you want to do. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't quite work for me. If I'm already in my head and I'm already bullying myself, I'm already putting myself down, I'm already upset with myself for not doing the things that I want to do, bullying myself is not gonna make me do it further. It's not gonna make me actually wanna do the thing. So there's gotta be another way. This here, what I teach on this channel is grace-based approaches, joy-based approaches, choices that allow you to not just stick with it the one time, but desire to stick with it time after time after time again. And if you're new here, my name is Nay, and on this channel we talk about how to be authentic and intentional in our lives. So if you like this type of content, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can know when we post more like this. So before we even get into how to rebuild it, there's some prep work that needs to be done. And I want to first say that you are not weird, you're not crazy for continuously hitting up against this wall or saying you're gonna do something and then falling through. There are reasons, there are literally scientific reasons why this happens. We're gonna get to that. But before that, I want you to know that you're in a safe place and that there isn't judgment here, because I've been there too. We've all done something that we said we weren't gonna do, or not done something that we said we were gonna do. Like, that's all of us. All of us are on that page. We're all on the same playing field with that. But we're gonna talk about how that can become less of a pattern in your life. So the prep work. The first thing is forgiveness. You have to learn to forgive yourself. It seems like, wait, why does that, I'm trying to build self-trust. Why is self-forgiveness a part of that? I want you to think about it like this. Imagine somebody told you, hey, you know what? Do you want to hang out this weekend? Like, I really feel like I wanna do this thing with you. I wanna hang. Are you available? And you're like, yeah, sure, of course. I'm gonna clear my calendar. I would love to hang out and chill with you. That weekend comes that you guys are supposed to hang out, and that person doesn't text you. They don't respond to your text. You go to the place, they're not there, and you're waiting and you're like, what in the world? Did I get the date wrong? Like, what in the world? But you kind of let it go. And a couple days later, you speak to the friend again. And when you speak to the friend doesn't even acknowledge anything about not showing up. They acknowledge nothing about even asking you to go and hang out that weekend. They don't even mention it. How would you feel in that moment? How much more accepting would you be of that thing if someone acknowledged that there was a breach that happened there, and then they apologized for it? They message you and they say, oh my gosh, I am so sorry that I missed that appointment with you. I missed hanging out with you. I'm so sorry. Like, can you forgive me? So much more accepting. And I think that's a step that a lot of us miss. We miss the fact that we're breaking self-trust in those moments. When we're saying we're gonna do something and we don't, or we're saying we're not gonna do something and we do, if we don't address where that breach in the self-trust has happened, if we don't apologize to ourselves, we don't forgive ourselves for those moments, then guess what will happen? We will wanna hide from ourselves. We're not gonna all of a sudden wanna get that thing done. No, we're gonna avoid it. I'm not even gonna try to think about that thing, because that thing now causes shame every time I think about it. That is the biggest step. The biggest step. Acknowledge the thing that happened and say, you know what? I am human, it is okay, I'm gonna try again next time. Like, that is so huge. The next prep reason is to understand why it is that you keep falling into this same cycle. This can be for a lot of reasons. It can be because of fear. It can be because maybe the right parameters aren't set, maybe the right boundaries aren't set up in your life for you to achieve this thing that you want to do, or stop doing this thing that you want to stop doing. But I think a lot of the times a misconception is, you know what? Like, I must not want to do it. If I'm not doing it, I must not really care. I must not really want it. And that's actually not the case. The thing with our minds is that whatever is taking up the most space is what will win. So we can really desire to do something. Like, oh my gosh, I want to do this thing so badly. But if our fear, or maybe our restraints, the things that we put around of us not being able to do that thing, if our thoughts of that are greater than our desire for it, then guess what's gonna win? Our thoughts. Our love and desire for that thing can be at a number 10. We can be like, I am so passionate about this. I want to do this thing. I want to ask for that promotion. I want to be in that relationship. I want to start that YouTube channel, whatever it is. Our love and passion for it can be at a number 10. But if our fear or our thoughts of us not being able to is at a 12 or at even a 11, a 20, it's gonna be so much harder to do that thing. So what do we have to do in order to re-equilibrate that balance? We have to feed into the things that we love, feed into the passion, make it louder in our lives, and then starve the thing that is holding us back. Starve it. That means not looking at things that are making you feel inadequate or making you feel like, oh, this thing is impossible. Maybe it's even something simple, like you wanna wake up every day at 5 a.m. and maybe you keep thinking in your mind, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so hard. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so hard. This is gonna be the worst. Oh my goodness, I'm never gonna get enough rest. But all these things are coming to your mind. Starve that. Don't keep focusing on the things that are contrary to the thing that you want to do. If our eyes are here, we're not going to be focused on the thing, on the passion, on the love that we have for the thing. Guys, I talk about this all the time for myself. This is one of the biggest examples for me. I started my YouTube journey back in 2020, and it was the hardest thing for me to be consistent. I didn't know how. I would talk to people outside about, yeah, like I have a YouTube channel, but there was like honestly a sense of shame when I talked about it because I knew I wasn't consistent. I was on here for 4 years, and I think at the point of this video, I think I have maybe 30 something videos up. I was not consistent at all. I didn't know how to be because there was so much fear involved. But this past month, not only have I put up consistent videos, I've done lives, I've done shorts, I've put myself out there in ways that I thought was impossible for me. Like literally thought was impossible. But I realized it's not. I took my eyes off of the fear of, oh my goodness, what do people expect of me? Am I gonna meet expectations? Am I okay? Am I too much? All of these things that were in my head, I took my eyes off of that, off of repeating those things in my head over and over and over again, and I went and focused on, wait, what is it that God wants you to do here? Who are you supposed to be helping? I focused on the comments that people are sending to me of saying how much of an impact this is making, how much is changing their lives, how much is allowing them to see things differently, breakthroughs that they haven't had in years. I'm focusing on those things. That is what I desire to do. Not about the, okay, there might be people that, think I'm too much, think my personality is too much, think I'm not enough, think I'm not deep enough, or I'm too deep, whatever. There will be people like that, but I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the people that I'm helping. And that is what, when people say to think about and focus on your why, that's what they mean. Focus on the thing that lights you up, not the thing that pulls you down. There will always be things that can potentially pull you down and pull you away from the thing that you want to do. Take your eyes off of that and focus on the things that pull you closer to the thing that you want to achieve. The first step in doing it is to take baby steps. Take baby steps. There's the phrase that Rome isn't built in a day. If this has been a cycle for you, where you have not done this thing or you have done this thing and you're trying to stop, whatever it might be, if this has been a cycle for you, it's not gonna happen overnight. It won't. It will take continuous renewing, continuous reprogramming, and continuous effort, exposure to the thing that scares you before this thing doesn't become such a stronghold in your life anymore. So with this, maybe you can find one thing that you can start this week. It can be really small, like even maybe like every single morning I'm going to make up my bed, or I'm gonna make sure I take a walk for 5 minutes every single day. Make it something that's small and attainable for you, because when that discipline is built, it will bleed out into other areas. That self-discipline is not something that is compartmentalized. It bleeds out, it becomes part of who you are. When I'm disciplined in one area, it allows me to have that same discipline in other areas as well. And with that discipline also comes grace. If you're in our journaling challenge, you know that I am so big on grace. Like in all of our emails, I say, guys, I know if you have started this challenge and you are falling off and it's week 3 and you haven't even done one thing in week 1 or 2, you can start now. Like, it's not too late to start now. Like, I'm so big on that, because when shame comes, we don't want to do it. We say that this thing is not possible for me anymore. Remove the shame. There might be some weeks that I'm like, okay, I'm not able to upload, but I'm not gonna shame myself about it. I'm just gonna say, all right, start from where I am right now and move forward. I know someone who did a 14-day challenge recently, and it was about showing up more consistently. And at the end of the 14 days, she decided to do another 14 days and then another one. And I think when we set those small baby goals for ourselves, it becomes more of a pattern. There was somebody who joined our challenge, and she was kind of like an on and off journaler. She didn't do it all the time, but she messaged me and she said, you know, after this 30-day challenge, I want to continue and I want to do more because this has helped me so much. I've been Google searching more challenges just like this. And before, she wasn't even consistent in it. But having that structure and seeing the benefits of it allowed her to want to do more later on. The second thing that I want you to think about is to create a contingency plan. Now, a contingency plan is almost like a just in case this thing happens, this is what I would do. It's like planning for the worst case scenario. Because I can guarantee, or I guess maybe 90% guarantee, maybe 80, I don't know. But when you are making your plans, you're not in your head thinking that you're gonna fail, that this is not gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna have a desire in your heart, say I'm gonna do this thing or not do this thing, and then say, but you know what? In 5 days, I'm gonna go back on this. Like, that doesn't happen. But it's very possible that there's something that is happening in those 5 days from now, in the whatever from now, that we're not considering when we are actually making the plan. And that's why a contingency plan is so important. I want you to think about, when am I at my worst? When am I usually tempted to not do this thing? What is usually my trigger? What is usually the thing that is holding me back, makes me not desire to keep my word to myself? What is that trigger for me? I want you to put yourself in that situation, put yourself in that mode, and then figure out, how will I, in this situation, combat that? For example, say you're like, I'm gonna ask for promotion when I go to work, but you know that when you're with your boss, you get extremely nervous and you don't know what to say, and you stumble over your words and you allow other people to kind of talk over you. What can you do to keep your words to yourself that you are gonna ask for that promotion, that you're gonna do what you said you were gonna do? Maybe that means that you're practicing in maybe high stress situations. You're having somebody come over and you're practicing asking them. You're practicing it in the mirror. You're talking to yourself. You're amping yourself up to tell yourself that no one's supposed to be talking over me. I have just as much right to talk just as other people have it. Maybe you're amping yourself up. You're preparing yourself for the worst case scenario. So when that does happen, or if that does happen, you're prepared for it. Maybe it's putting boundaries in place so that you're not bringing in the same things into your life that have been keeping you bound for so long. The third way that we're gonna be rebuilding this trust in our lives is to partner with somebody else with a similar goal. I know for me, there was something that was really hard for me to do. And I remember I messaged one of my friends and I was like, hey girl, like, can you just start? She wanted to start this thing too. And I was like, can you just start this thing with me? Because like, it's like a little bit cringy for me, but I need somebody to be with that I can cringe and proceed with. Like, I need to cringe and proceed, not just cringe and walk away. I need to be like, oh, this is hard, but keep going. Like, I need somebody to do that with, and somebody that gets that this thing is not easy. It takes some effort, but I need somebody that understands how much effort this takes to walk alongside with me. And if you don't have that, I want to be that accountability partner for you. Comment below and let me know something that you want to stay committed to. You've been trying to stay consistent with, you've been trying to build up, you've been trying to do or trying to stop doing, but it's been hard for you. Comment below. I would love to help you and walk you through that, and even help to hold you accountable in many ways. And I'm sure we have such an amazing community here. I'm sure many others would love to partner with you in that as well. So comment below and let us know. I hope this video helped you guys to be able to build self-trust. You can do it. Believe me, I am a living testament to that. And if you need more help on how to forgive yourself when you might have gone back against your word, then check out this video right here. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye guys. You can do it. I believe in you.